Hello, my friend. Tonight, let us step into a gentle story, one that will guide you toward a peaceful sleep. Find a comfortable position, softly close your eyes, and allow your breathing to become slow and steady. Each deep breath is like a gentle wave, carrying you away from the worries of the day. Now imagine before you a quiet autumn evening. The golden light of sunset spreads across the sky, touching the trees and painting the small winding streets. Red and golden maple leaves drift down with the cool breeze. Each falling leaf seems to carry a soft message, a whisper of distant, tender memories. You hear the gentle rustling of leaves, like a lullaby from nature itself. In the distance, the last birds of the day sing faintly, their voices fading into the stillness. Your heartbeat slows, as if it wishes to move in harmony with the world around you. Within this peaceful scene, our story begins. It is the story of a first love, sweet as autumn sunlight, fragile as a leaf floating to the ground. A love that lingers not to cause sorrow, but to warm the heart whenever remembered. Let me guide you into that world. A world of tree-lined paths covered in autumn leaves, of afternoons touched by a gentle breeze, and of a pure, innocent first love. This story will not hurry. It will move slowly, like falling leaves, carrying you gently through distant memories and softly into sleep. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it go. Feel your body grow lighter, your mind opening, ready for a new journey. Tonight you will listen as the autumn leaves whisper the very first tale of the heart. In the distant corners of memory, that autumn returns like a dream still scented with sunlight. The little town where I grew up was then covered in brilliant maple trees. The road along the river sparkled as if gilded with countless falling leaves. The sky stretched high and clear, and each gentle breeze carried a tender coolness, lingering on my skin like a soft caress. I still remember the first time I saw that person, beneath the old maple tree, in the clarity of an autumn day. Standing there, their hair lifted lightly in the wind, and their eyes shone as if holding the whole season of autumn within them. My heart, once so quiet, suddenly beat faster, as though caught in a melody it had never heard before. We were so young then. Our conversations were halting, shy, like the whisper of falling leaves. Words were not necessary. Just walking side by side on a road covered in golden leaves was enough to bring peace to the soul. Every step, every laugh, every fleeting glance left behind a trail of light in my memory. On certain afternoons, we would sit by the riverbank, watching ripples spread across the water as it mirrored the rose-colored sky. They often carried a small book of poems, reading a few lines softly, their voice gentle like the wind. I listened, not because I understood every meaning, but because in their voice I heard the pulse of a young heart and felt the warmth of a tender love quietly taking root. Sometimes, the autumn breeze carried the scent of wild chrysanthemums by the roadside. We would pick them, pressing the small blossoms between the pages of a book, laughing as though we had just hidden away some great secret. It was all so simple, so fragile, yet so pure it could never be replaced. Each morning, as the first rays of sunlight slipped through the window, I longed to see them again. Each evening, as the sunset settled over the town, I wished the golden road would stretch just a little farther so that we could walk together a little longer. First love, to me, asked for no grand promises. A glance, a smile, a moment drenched in the glow of autumn was already enough to etch itself deep into my heart. That night, in my sleep, the town seemed to remain forever in autumn. I dreamt of leaf-strewn paths, of two young figures walking side by side, of laughter echoing in the wind. Everything was so gentle that upon waking I wondered if I was still dreaming, and perhaps I was. For first love, even if fleeting, always carries the colors of a dream, sweet, fragile, and unforgettable. Even now, when I close my eyes, I feel as if I am once again walking through that autumn. The leaves falling around me seem to whisper, reminding me that something beautiful once existed. It doesn't need to last forever, nor does it need to be complete. To touch it once is enough to carry it for a lifetime. And so, as you softly close your eyes and let your breath slow, imagine yourself walking that autumn path too. Golden leaves twirl gently in the breeze, drifting down like letters from the past. Your footsteps echo lightly, blending with the calm rhythm of your heart. And somewhere along that quiet path, perhaps you will see the shadow of yourself, falling in love for the very first time, pure and tender, as gentle as autumn itself. Seasons change, as they always do. And so, after that golden autumn, the days slowly drifted into winter. The air grew colder, and the familiar streets of the little town seemed quieter, as if holding their breath beneath the weight of snow and silence. The one I once walked beside was no longer there. Life with its quiet inevitability had carried them away, perhaps to a distant city, or perhaps across the sea. I never truly knew the details, only that their presence, once so close, was now far beyond my reach. At first, I carried the ache of absence like a hidden stone in my chest. The roads we once walked felt empty. The old maple tree seemed lonelier without the sound of laughter beneath its branches. Yet over time, the sharpness of longing softened into something gentler. Memories remained, but they no longer stung. Instead, they settled like fallen leaves pressed between the pages of a diary, fragile, preserved, waiting to be remembered. I often found myself leafing through that diary, not always with my hands, but with my heart. I would linger on the pages where autumn sunlight spilled across the words, where the scent of wild chrysanthemums seemed to return. In the hush of quiet evenings, I could almost hear the echo of their voice reciting lines of poetry. The voice was faint, but it warmed me, like the last glow of daylight fading into night. Time passed. Years unfolded like rivers, always moving, never the same. Yet, no matter how far life carried me, the memory of that first love remained a gentle presence. It was not a fire to burn, nor a wound to ache. It was simply a lantern glowing softly in the distance, reminding me that I had once known something pure. Some people say first love fades with age, that it becomes nothing more than a shadow. But I never felt it vanish. Instead, it transformed, becoming quieter, deeper. It was no longer about the person themselves, but about the feeling they had awakened, the capacity to care, to cherish, to see beauty in the simplest of moments. There were nights when I would sit by the window, watching the moon drift through a sea of clouds, and in the stillness I would remember the sound of leaves rustling, the way sunlight turned the air golden, the way two young souls once shared silence and laughter. The memory would flow over me like a lullaby, and before I knew it, I would be drifting gently into sleep. The quiet pause of time had not erased the story. It had only softened its edges. Like a painting aged by sunlight, the colors had faded, but the beauty remained. Now, as you lie here listening, let your breath fall into the same rhythm. Inhale slowly, feel the calmness settle into your chest. Exhale gently, letting go of the weight of the day. With each breath, imagine the passage of time as a river, flowing steadily, carrying away what no longer serves you, leaving only what is gentle, what is kind. The person you once loved, the moments you once held, they live within you, not as burdens, but as soft whispers of who you were and who you have become. Just as autumn leaves fall and return again with each year, so too does love return, not always in the same form, but always carrying warmth. And so, the years may pass, but the memory of first love will always remain. Not as a longing, not as sorrow, but as a tender presence, a reminder of how the heart first learned to dream. Rest now. Let the silence of time wrap around you like a soft blanket. Let your thoughts slow, until all that remains is the gentle rhythm of breath and the faint echo of laughter beneath autumn leaves. Time has a way of circling back, like the seasons themselves. And so, many years later, I found myself returning to the little town where it had all begun. The train ride was quiet, the rhythmic hum of wheels against the tracks lulling me into a calm half-dream. Outside the window, the countryside stretched wide, fields tinted with the soft hues of autumn. The trees stood tall in shades of amber and gold, their branches swaying gently, as though waving me home. When I finally stepped onto the familiar streets, it was as if the town had been waiting, quietly keeping its secrets. The houses still leaned close to one another, their roofs framed by drifting leaves. The river flowed just as it always had, carrying the reflection of the sky across its gentle ripples. I walked slowly, letting each step fall with intention, as though greeting an old friend. The air carried the same crisp scent I remembered, a blend of fallen leaves, damp earth, and the faint sweetness of chrysanthemums that still grew wild by the roadside. With every breath, memory stirred, rising softly within me like mist. There was the bookstore on the corner, its wooden sign weathered but still swinging in the wind. There was the small cafe where the aroma of roasted beans drifted into the street, just as it had when I was young. And then, of course, there was the great maple tree, the one that had once held the laughter of two young souls beneath its branches. I paused there for a long while. The leaves above were aflame with crimson and gold, glowing like embers against the pale sky. As I looked up, I felt as though time folded in on itself. For a brief moment, I could almost see us there again, two figures standing close, our voices low, our hearts full of something unspoken. The bench by the river had grown older, its wood worn smooth by the years, but it welcomed me as I sat down. The water sparkled in the same way it always had, carrying sunlight in its currents. I closed my eyes and listened. The sound of the river, the rustling of the leaves, the hush of the breeze, they wove together into a melody I had known all my life. As I sat there, I realized how much the town had remained unchanged, even as I had grown older, even as life had carried me far away. It was as though the town itself had been keeping watch over the fragments of my past, holding them safe until I returned. I let myself drift into memory. I remembered the afternoons of walking side by side, the pages of poetry shared between us, the way the sun dipped low over the horizon while we lingered, not wanting the day to end. I remembered the nervous laughter, the silences that somehow spoke more than words ever could. The past did not return, not truly. But in that moment it lived again within me, as vivid as the autumn light. And though the years had placed distance between then and now, the essence of it all remained untouched, gentle, sweet, eternal. I breathed deeply, feeling the calm of the place seep into me. My heart no longer ached with the longing it once held. Instead, it was filled with gratitude for the love that had been, for the memory that endured, for the chance to stand once more where it all began. Now, as you rest here with me, imagine walking through such a town yourself, a place that feels both familiar and timeless, where every corner carries whispers of memory. Let your footsteps slow, let your shoulders relax, and allow yourself to feel the peace of returning. For no matter how far we wander, there's always a place, real or within our hearts, that welcomes us back, that reminds us of who we once were, and of the gentle loves that shaped us. And as the leaves continue to fall, twirling softly in the evening air, you too can rest, knowing that the heart always finds its way home. The afternoon was quiet, the kind of quiet that settles like a soft blanket over the world. The sun hung low, casting its golden light across the streets, and the leaves danced gently in the air before resting on the ground. I walked slowly, as if each step might awaken something hidden within the town. And then it happened. Beneath the same great maple tree where everything had once begun, I saw someone standing. At first, I thought it was only my memory shaping the air, weaving an illusion of the past. But as I drew closer, I realized it was not a dream. It was them. Time had brushed gently across their face, leaving traces of years lived. But their eyes, those same eyes I had once known, still carried the glow of autumn. A warmth rose in my chest, not sharp or sudden, but tender, like embers stirring after a long rest. For a moment, we simply looked at each other. The world around us seemed to hold its breath. The rustle of leaves, the murmur of the river, even the breeze itself, all softened into stillness, as though waiting. Then came a smile. It was familiar yet new, like hearing an old melody played once again after many years. I felt myself smile in return, and with that, the years between us seemed to dissolve. We walked to the bench by the river, the same place where laughter and poems had once been shared. Sitting side by side, we spoke, not with the hurried eagerness of youth, but with the calm rhythm of lives that had seen both joy and sorrow. We talked about the years apart, the roads each of us had taken, the places we had seen. There was no bitterness, no regret, only gratitude. Gratitude for the way our lives had unfolded, and gratitude that we could sit once more beneath the same sky. As the leaves of autumn swirled around us, at times, silence fell between us, but it was not an empty silence. It was full, gentle, like the hush of evening that settles over a quiet town. In that silence, I could feel the presence of all that had been, the laughter, the nervous glances, the tender moments of a first love. It was as though the past sat with us, not as a shadow, but as a companion. As the sun dipped lower, a single leaf drifted down, landing softly at our feet. We both looked at it and then at each other. No words were needed. We both understood. First love does not need to be rekindled to be beautiful. It does not need to last forever to remain true. Sometimes it simply needs to be acknowledged, gently, quietly, as a gift that shaped who we are. We lingered there until the sky deepened into twilight. The world seemed wrapped in golden light, fading slowly into dusk. And as the first stars began to appear, I felt an overwhelming peace. The person beside me was no longer the love of my youth, and I was no longer the dreamer I once had been. But in that moment, we were both something even greater. Two souls who had shared a beginning and who now shared a gentle remembrance. And as we parted, I carried no sorrow. Only warmth, only the soft glow of a memory brought tenderly back to life. Now, as you rest here, let your own heart wander to the people and places that once touched your soul. Not with longing, not with regret, but with gratitude. For every meeting, every love, every fragment of beauty, whether lasting or brief, becomes part of who you are. Close your eyes and imagine that golden leaf drifting slowly to the ground. Watch it settle softly, peacefully as the day turns to night. Let it remind you that love in all its forms is never lost. It lingers, like the rustle of autumn leaves, quiet and eternal. The days grew shorter, as they always do in autumn. Each evening arrived earlier than the one before, carrying with it a hush that settled gently over the town. The air turned cooler, the wind softer, and the trees, once vibrant in their crimson and gold, slowly began to bare their branches. I walked the familiar paths again, the ones lined with fading leaves. Each step was accompanied by the crisp sound of earth and memory. The streets seemed quieter now, and in their silence, I found myself listening, not for voices or footsteps, but for the echo of all that had been. It was during one of these walks that I came to the old maple tree once more. Its branches, once heavy with color, now held only a handful of leaves. I paused beneath it, gazing upward, watching as the breeze tugged at the few that remained. There, clinging to the highest branch, was a single golden leaf. Alone, trembling, yet steadfast, I stood silently, waiting, as though its final fall would carry with it some hidden meaning. The world around me seemed to soften. The river murmured faintly, the sky stretched wide in dusky light, and I could feel time itself pause. The leaf quivered, swayed gently, and for a moment, it was as if the universe held its breath. And then, with the lightest motion, it let go. The leaf drifted slowly through the air, turning and gliding, catching the fading light as it fell. It spun like a whisper, like a secret carried on the wind. I followed it with my eyes, my heart quiet, my soul still. When it touched the ground, I felt something shift within me. It was not sadness, not loss, but release. A gentle understanding that every beginning must have its end, and every end carries the seed of something eternal. First love, like autumn, is never meant to last forever. It blooms, it colors the world, it fills the air with sweetness, and then it fades. But in its fading, it leaves behind something precious, a memory that warms the soul in the cold seasons that follow. I knelt and picked up the leaf. It was delicate, its veins fine as threads of time. Holding it in my hand, I closed my eyes and the years folded back. I could hear laughter, feel the warmth of the sun, see the glow in eyes that once looked into mine with innocent wonder. I could taste again the sweetness of those first words, the tremble of that first touch. But most of all, I could feel peace. Not longing, not regret, just peace. For even though that love belonged to another time, it had shaped me. It had taught me how to see beauty in the small things, the rustle of leaves, the hush of twilight, the gentle presence of someone who once walked beside me. As I stood, the wind carried the last of the leaves from the branches above. The tree stood bare, yet strong, awaiting winter with quiet patience. I understood then that love, like the seasons, is part of a greater rhythm. It comes, it changes us, and though it may pass, its essence remains within us, like sunlight stored in the heart. I placed the golden leaf inside my book, where it would rest, not as a relic of sorrow, but as a reminder that first love, fragile as it may be, is never wasted. It is the beginning of learning how to feel deeply, how to see gently, how to carry beauty even when it no longer walks beside us. the sky deepened into twilight, painted with shades of lavender and silver. The first stars shimmered faintly and the town grew still. I breathed slowly, deeply, as though inhaling the quiet itself. And in that moment, I knew the story had reached its end. Not a sharp ending, but one that softened like dusk blending into night. The leaf had fallen, the memory had returned, and my heart felt lighter, freer, as though it too had been carried gently by the autumn wind. Now, as you lie here listening, imagine that last golden leaf drifting softly through the air. See how slowly it falls, how gently it lands, how peacefully it rests. Let it carry away your worries, your hurried thoughts, your restless feelings. With each breath, allow yourself to grow lighter, as if you too were floating, slowly, gracefully, toward a place of quiet rest. The world around you softens, the stars above begin to glow, and your mind drifts further and further into peace. First love, like the autumn leaf, may fall, but its memory stays, warming you, comforting you, reminding you that you are always surrounded by beauty. Let that thought be the pillow for your heart tonight. Close your eyes, my friend. The story has been told. The leaf has fallen. The night is here. Sleep now gently as the autumn leaves of first love whisper softly in your dreams. And so, my friend, the story draws to its close. The last leaf has fallen, the season has turned, and what remains is not sorrow, but a gentle glow, like the warmth of embers long after the fire has gone quiet. Love, especially the first love, is like autumn. It arrives softly, paints the world with colors we have never seen before, and leaves us changed. Even when it fades, it does not truly vanish. Its essence lingers, woven into the fabric of who we are, like golden threads of memory. As you lie here now, let the images of this story settle in your mind. Picture the golden leaves drifting slowly through the air, one by one, until the branches stand bare beneath the twilight sky. See the river reflecting the fading light. Hear the hush of the evening breeze, and feel the peace that comes with endings gently embraced. Take a deep breath in, and slowly let it go. With each breath, imagine the leaves carrying away any heaviness in your heart, any worries from the day, any restless thoughts that try to hold on. Let them drift away far beyond the horizon, leaving only calm. You are safe here. You are held by the quiet rhythm of the night, by the tender memory of love, by the timeless whisper of autumn. Everything that has been is part of you, and everything ahead will come in its own time. There is no need to hurry, no need to hold on. Simply rest. Now, let the golden light of memory fade softly into the silver glow of dreams. Let your body grow heavy, your mind grow light, and your heart grow still. The world outside grows quieter with each passing moment, and within you, peace spreads like ripples on a calm lake. Close your eyes, dear one. Let the gentle hush of the night carry you into sleep. Dream sweetly of tree-lined paths, of laughter echoing beneath autumn skies, of love that once bloomed like a leaf in the sun. Carry the warmth of it with you, not as longing, but as comfort. For every story leaves behind a song, and tonight the song of autumn lingers in your heart. A song of first love, of golden leaves, of quiet gratitude. Rest now. Sleep deeply, and when morning comes, let your soul awaken refreshed, carrying with it the tender peace of autumn's gentle whisper. Good night, my friend.